Yeah. So you've got minimum pay rates is, as it says, the minimum that you can pay an individual. They're set within the modern award. So every award has minimum pay rates. At the back of the award, there's a schedule. And if you don't fall into an award, there's the national minimum rate. So if you don't fall into an award, there is a national minimum rate that is what has to be paid from a baseline perspective. So businesses must review and update their pay rates and also check any salary or highly hourly rate absorption still holds when those rates increase.
And it's probably fair to assume that, what, do they increase annually?
Yeah, great question. They
Yeah.
increase annually. So generally on or around 1 July. The only time in my 15 years in HR that it's from an overall, sometimes awards bring in different rates at different times a year, but majority of the time it's 1 July. We did see a change during the COVID years to help support businesses, but generally speaking, it is 1 July. Sometimes Fair Work on time and release the new rate prior 1 July. I've seen it a lot of the times when it comes post. So then for everyone in the payroll HR
Mm.
space, you have to audit and back pay. So it's
Yes.
applicable from the first pay period on or after 1 July. Yeah, and so that's why we recommend at a minimum that annual review because even if you're paying above minimum rate, once that increase goes through, you might not be above, especially if you do the boots assessment.
Mm, mm. I think that's where I suppose, been coaching for so long now. I know I do annual reviews on all sorts of different areas of the business that I'm coaching, and in sometimes a 6 monthly review because we've got the ability to look at it from a financial point of view, from a financial year and a calendar year. These are just things that, as owners, I'm losing my voice. As owners of businesses, we just got to continually stay on top of, isn't it? And that's the key thing, is to have that review.
Yes, yes. And I see your questions just come through, so we'll come back to that at the end.
I
Thank
should
you.
mention
So
that, didn't I? Yes.
keep popping your questions through as we talk if something triggers, so you don't have to think, and then we'll go through them at the end. Um,
And you mentioned Woolies and Coles before. So, you know, they're at the larger end of town, and then you've got smaller businesses. Um, which businesses are mostly impacted by these increases? Small, large? Are there different ones?
yeah, can be all.
Right.
Generally, especially, it's even more prevalent for those businesses that do pay close to minimum wage or minimum wage, So there's more risk because there's not as much of a gap
Yeah.
to absorb when increases go up. But yeah, so size of your business doesn't matter. If
Right.
Yeah, doesn't matter if you've got one staff member or 1,000 type of thing. Yeah, so and it's applicable to all minimum rate that covers under the national minimum rate or awards. So if you hold any employees within your business, that is something that you should be reviewing annually. We see it time and time again, set and forget. Oh, yeah, they got $40 an hour. The award states, 29, we're okay. Well, yeah, but now it's 4 years down the track, you might
Yeah.
not be, and then the changes in the law and all those type of things. So yeah, there and there's obviously certain industries that is more heavily connected to the minimum rates, and we're talking, hospo, retail, manufacturing, warehouse, healthcare, community services. A lot of those are generally the spaces, but that again is a generalization. But think about those if you're on here as a professional service, say an accountant, think about your clients that have more of those industries or low skilled
Yes.
employees and are on the lower side because those changes will impact those businesses more.
Did I see something recently? I'm thinking off the top of my head that is going to impact, let's say, the McDonald's's and these sort of people that are employing that. Is the minimum wage going up for the?
Yes, yes. There is a plan in place that certain awards that have junior rates, so,
Yeah, that's right. Junior rates.
17, 18, 19, that there's certain stipulations that basically abolishes, and everyone's just on, let's call it the adult rate. So for those impacted industries
That's
that
huge.
do use those that labor, um, because it's the focus and from a cost, mainly from a cost perspective,
Cost.
that's going to
Yeah.
be a huge impact for them. It's a staged approach over a couple of years, but yes, you did see and read right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can imagine from a. I know they're big companies, but at the same time, it's going to affect profits, isn't it? So if something's
Yeah.
going to affect profits,
And
it's more likely going to come down the line to, not that I eat
yes.
it, that stuff, but it's going to come down the line.
Yeah, and I think the biggest takeaway that I want people to hear, if you're in that small business world and everyone thinks I'm a small business, this doesn't apply to me. That is so far from the truth. Um, it's it applies to all businesses, doesn't matter the size. For small businesses, yes, they feel the cost pressure more. They don't have the resources like HR and a big payroll team to interpret the law or provide guidance. Um, but it doesn't mean they're exempt from following the law.